Today, on Be Something Wonderful, find this and discover the key to manifesting your every desire. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, welcome back. Good morning. Another powerful one today. This came from a session yesterday, and as I talked to this client, it was a new client. And she goes, Tom, I know I'm not supposed to tell my story. A lot of clients say this, right? And I said, well, go ahead. We'll look at it as an alternative reality. And she went into her story and about how everything is wrong in her life, from her family to her friends to her job to her husband, even to her dog who keeps peeing on a rug. Right, even that, right? And I know, I get it, I've been there, except for the dog peeing on the rug, everything else I get, right? And remember, even that, and remember that, and as you tell that story, there's a deep sense that you're believing it all, right? That these conditions and your thoughts about these conditions are outside of you. Do you hear this? I just want to say, and this is what I said to her yesterday as we were really unpacking this, that either you are consciously creating your own reality, or someone else is. That's really what we're talking about. So let's get into it. And really what I asked her, from who are you taking your cue from? From whom or what are you taking your cue from? Right? Because remember what cue means. Cue means to do what is done or suggested by someone or something. Who are you taking your suggestions from? From the 3D conditions? From your thoughts and feelings about those conditions? Because that's creating your reality, right? Remember that I showed this idea that either your thoughts are on the inner screen, right here, the inner screen, of thoughts, feelings, emotions, or the outer screen of people, events, and circumstances. Even your dog peeing on the rug. All of those are the outer screen, right? We're either here or here, and mostly really we're here and we have thoughts and feelings about there. Or thoughts and feelings why these things are not the way we want them to be, right? On what or whom is your attention and focus? Because remember, that attention and focus is awareness. And awareness is who you are, right? It's that I am, it's that consciousness. So that's manifested through, translated through your attention and focus on reality. So where is your attention and focus? And instead, these two screens, it doesn't mean you're ignoring them. It means that you see them, but your focus is in your center, your awareness center, the center of your being. In other words, you're focused on your heart's desire, your desired outcome, how you prefer to see life and your relationship to it. All there. Doesn't mean you don't notice these, but your awareness center is here. You're not stuck on the outer screen or stuck on the inner screen, or normally we're just going back and forth between both. Right? All things, this is what Neville Goddard says, all things are made through awareness, and without it is not anything made that is made. Referring to John 1:3 in Scripture. Everything is made through awareness, through your awareness center. And remember, your awareness and gets translated into your attention and focus in 3D reality. Where is your attention and focus? Is it on all of those things that you want to change? All of those things that are not right in your life, right? Or is it on how you want to see the world, how you prefer to see the world? Because remember, how you see it is what's created in that moment. Do you see that? And you can decide, you can choose how you want to see the world, right? And what you want to think and feel about it. So let's hit this a little bit more. Remember, awareness is the phenomena of life, the one and only cause. This is the phenomena that Neville Goddard talked about, right? Once you find the phenomena, the cause of the phenomena of life, you can let every other belief go in another source or another God. That's what Neville was talking about. This awareness, this source, is directed through your attention and focus. It is your awareness, but it's directed through your attention and focus. Where are you? Are you on the inner screen of thoughts and feelings and emotions, or on the outer screen of people, events, and circumstances, or both? When you're having thoughts and feelings, emotions about those people, events, and circumstances. What you put your attention and focus on is determined by your assumptions. This is the law of assumption, right? Awareness of being, I am, is the highest form of attention and focus. It's the highest assumption you can have. Lack is impossible here. Do you see it? Once you go back to that center, rest in that I am, that knowing, right, that you're totally unconditioned, who you really are. Now you can condition it any way you want. You can see reality. In other words, you can see reality. You can see the people, events, and circumstances, and even observe your thoughts and feelings about them from a higher perspective. You become the observer, right? And now you can create, be, do, or have whatever your heart desires. That's big. So there's no this is what Lester Levinson says. I love Lester. There's no happiness in people or things. Happiness is our basic nature. Happiness is our very own beingness. This client just I said, well, what do you want? She goes, I just want to be peaceful. I want to be happy. But here's the thing. She thinks that happiness depends on those conditions, people, events, and circumstances changing. She thinks her happiness depends on her thoughts and feelings about those conditions. None of it is there. All of it depends on your center, on your awareness. And it doesn't even depend on that, because that's where happiness is. You're already happy. You're already fulfilled. That freedom's already exist. It's unconditional. It's independent of any other cause. It's first cause. It's first awareness. It's source. It's you, right? So it doesn't depend on any process or goal. Happiness is not about a process. It's not about a goal, right? Non-attachment and freedom of being is pure awareness. It's total non-attachment. Whenever you're depending on anything from the outside world or the thoughts and feelings about them, trying to resolve those, now you're attached, right? The greater the attachment, this is what Lester says, the greater the unhappiness. Likewise, the greater the aversion, the greater the unhappiness, right? He's talking about attachment, what we call positive attachment, attached to a certain desire, right? Believing that when I get that, when I fulfill that, then I will be fulfilled, I will be happy, I will feel free. But now you're attached to that outcome, or the attachment to the not getting what you want, the aversion, or the aversion to circumstances, wanting things to be different, right? The aversion to an unwanted reality. The greater the unhappiness here, it's unfree to be attached to anything. Lester Levinson, very powerful. Unfree, so powerful. Remember, what is attachment? Attachment is simply fear of non-fulfillment. And that's impossible, right? I am simply means completeness, eternity, awareness, consciousness, wholeness, one with God, one with creation, one with source. There's no possibility of non-fulfillment. You can only have the experience of non-fulfillment, right? As you look at the outer world and as you have thoughts and feelings about it, right? If there's only one source and you are one with that source, then there's only fulfillment in allness and beingness. There's only that. Everything else is an experience created by putting your focus and attention as awareness on the inner and outer screens, believing when these change, you can have and be what you desire. Then you'll be happy and fulfilled. And you're going to say, well, Tom, how do I get in that center? By focusing on what you want, what you desire, but not the thing. Focus on the fulfillment, the experience of fulfillment of that desire, that outcome. No, it's a done deal. Move your attention there, right? So joy, gratitude, peace, and fulfillment is your natural state of being. They're not temporary 3D feelings and emotion. They're not temporary events and conditions. None of those things. When you're depending on temporary feelings and emotions and temporary conditions, that becomes temporary joy, temporary gratitude, temporary peace. That's fleeting. That's the linear sense of what peace means, or gratitude, or joy, fulfillment. These are states of being. These are not temporary 3D emotions and feelings. The state of being of joy is real. The state of being of gratitude is real. The state of being of peace and fulfillment is real. It never changes. It's the screen that's totally untouched, untainted by whatever is going on in your life and your thoughts and feelings about it, right? So move your awareness, your attention and focus from the temporary inner and outer linear conditions you believe are necessary to get right. That you believe are necessary to get right. I got to get these conditions right. I got to get the inner conditions right. I got to feel the right thoughts. I got to see the right circumstances and conditions. These people got to do the right things, and then I can have or be. Then I'm going to give myself permission to have what I want. Do you hear this? Really, what we discovered yesterday. She goes, "Oh my God, I just haven't been giving myself permission to be or do or have what I want." Right? She's been withholding it, believing that there's a necessary conditions to be met first before she can have what she wants. And I said, you can just choose it now. Right? There are no conditions that need to be met. Right? They're inner or outer. Right? The assumption of your desired imagined end, the experience of fulfillment. That's what we're talking about. Then 3D reality must yield to your assumption in your state of being. It must. There's no separation. Find this. Find that awareness center, and you discover the key to manifesting every desire. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, thank you. Thank you for liking the videos, sharing the videos, commenting. It's all just lovely. Thank you. Thank you for considering joining the membership channel. There's a link below. And don't forget, we have our first live stream. This is for the membership channel this Sunday on January 29, 2023 at 9 a.m. Pacific Coast Standard Time. And I'm already receiving a lot of questions, and keep sending them. You can send them to info@besomethingwonderful.com. And the following Sunday on February 5th, 2023, we have the first live stream for the public channel for all subscribers, right? And that's coming. So lots to do, lots coming. This is exciting. Also, don't forget, we have a Facebook group. You can feel free to join that. That's the Be Something Wonderful Ambassadors at facebook.com/groups/Be Something Wonderful. That's open to share your insight and guidance with others and receive insight and guidance. You can also reach us on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Kearin, or just go to our website anytime at tomkearin.com or besomethingwonderful.com. Creators, with great love, with great light and infinite gratitude, this is Tom. We'll see you soon.